Look like I'm wearing a fez?
What?
Does it look like I'm wearing a fez?
Now that you mention it.
It's that fucking lamp, dude. Yeah, it's something I noticed a while back. I might fall into it once in a while, so you can pick on me for that. I generally try to stay like this, but otherwise it's like, hey, coming to you from Turkey.
That's awesome. Oh gosh, yeah. When you kind of sit back a little bit, it totally looks like it. Yeah, like right there, up a little bit.
Yeah. How much have you drank so far all day?
Whoa. I just started, and this is a beer from Lagunitas. It's called Little Something Something. This
nice.
Tasty, dude. This is a super tasty beer right here. If you've never tried it, you need to give it a shot.
I will definitely give it a shot. I'm up for suggestions. I myself, and I'm drinking. I've been drinking vodka since 3 o'clock, and now I'm switching to beer. And this one's from Poland, believe it or not. So
nice.
How cool is that?
That is cool. Welcome up, everybody. How's it going? We're just kind of shooting the shit, hanging out for a couple minutes. We'll get this thing kicked off. For those of you who don't know, the guy broadcasting from Turkey is actually broadcasting from Katy.
Hello.
That's Southern Gun.
I'm going to have to switch this camera around. Now, I'm just going to let you know I can't see the chat.
Yeah, I have to follow along on my phone, so I'll look down occasionally and, you know.
If there's anything cool that people need to know or want to know, I'm totally down to answer.
Well, Trevor
meantime
said he put the first like. So I guess there's a little battle on who was first on the thumbs up. So if you guys haven't hit that thumbs up button yet, please do so. You know, if you want to share this out, that's cool. It's up to you.
Please share it. Yeah.
What's up, Pawn Opera Nation? What's going on, Albert? So if I look down, it's because the way that YouTube does their chat, you almost have to have it on another device, another screen. Instead of it being intuitive and actually being on the screen that I'm looking at right now, I have to look down at it. So it kind of blows. So I do miss occasionally comments or questions. So if it seems like I'm ignoring you guys, I'm not. We're not trying to ignore you. Just ask the question. We'll get back to it.
Oh, look, I'm going to actually end up using my Mantis bottle opener. And it works quite well.
What do you think of that little thing?
What?
That Mantis?
The Mantis?
Yeah.
I think it's fucking like the most over-engineered bottle opener.
Slightly.
I've never had a butterfly action bottle opener.
Yeah.
Ever. And I'm okay with having one.
Okay.
The knife is a cool touch.
The knife is a cool touch.
Absolutely.
That's like a bally song, right?
Yeah. It's from the ancient Filipino battlegrounds engineering. The Bali song, actually, I don't know if many people consider that, but Bali song is a Filipino blade. It's strictly a Filipino culture blade, and then it kind of wavered off, or it transcended into something much bigger.
Yeah.
Usually seen at flea markets with cheap knockoffs.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know what to think about this little thing. It's definitely sharp, and if you wanted to try to stab somebody with it, it would work.
Oh yeah,
it would do the duty.
No, you know, the knife. In all honesty, by the time you get to the knife, you're more than likely gonna have 5 in your neck. But if you somehow are a fucking Chuck Norris, and you can get away from that, then it's actually a pretty cool knife. You know, for as far as deployment, it's probably not an optimal design, but you know, once you have it in that thing, I mean, I don't want to get stabbed with this by any means, and it's double edge, spiky. It's probably gonna hurt like hell. You know, it's it's cool. It's a great novelty. It's like a useful novelty, if that's even a something that exists. That kind of a category of an item.
Right. I think it kind of falls into novelty more than practical for me.
Yeah.
I mean,
a self-defense blade.
How many freaking bottle openers can you have, Southern Gunner?
Not enough, man.
Not enough. Okay.
I've got one on my fucking AR. Okay, just in
Are you
case.
kidding me?
Yeah, it's an M-lock. It's an M-lock. You know how the MacBook has an M-lock thing system instead of the keymat or whatever. Yeah, it's just a dedicated freaking bottle opener and nothing else on the AR, because America.
America. Okay, let's kind of go through some of these things. What were your favorite items out of BattlBox Mission 32?
Yeah, I mean, they had me at what is the official name? The self-defense. They had me at self-defense. They really did.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, so it's there's plenty to pick from. I did like the knife quite a bit, and I did like this. This is from the ABKT, the little punch dagger thing. That thing is freaking. I mean, when you consider the price, $9.99, really?
Yeah.
My card, a fucking handle, and a Kydex, and a neck. That's it. They put in a lot of features into the price, and just for that alone, I think this little dagger stands out. Again, it's not like super practical, but I mean, considering like how much work went into this and everything else, and how much they're actually charging for it, I think this thing is a steal. I appreciate the Kubotan as well. I like that clip there. I haven't really seen too many Kubotans to begin with. Most of the ones I've seen were like a keychain, where it's just really a blunt piece of material just meant for striking. But this loop thing is pretty cool too. Kind of gives you that added hold. The knife of the month was fucking really good, I thought.
I hate karambits.
I love karambits. I'm gonna just say that. I know that it's kind of like acquired taste, but when it's like I said, they had me at self-defense. Okay, so I found a way to follow the chat. So sorry for the adjustments here, but awesome. Here we go. What's going on, everybody? I'm finally starting to see your comments. But really, I mean,
you don't like the lamp? Somebody doesn't like the lamp. Do the little trick where you put your head in front of it.
Welcome to Turkey, my friend. This is my fez, man. You guys don't like my fez? Look at that. Come on now.
Oh gosh, that cracks me up.
The lamp deserves some love, man. As an antique, we stole that from my wife's grandparents. So yeah. But one item. I mean, I don't want to be biased and just pick the knife of the month, which is really awesome in my eyes. But yeah, I think that that little punch dagger would be the one that really stands out the most to me, to be honest. I don't know if that's a popular opinion, but this one's mine.
My favorite item was the alarm. I really like this.
My dog hates it.
I bet your dog hates it. It's freaking loud.
Hell yeah. That's
so
wait. Just the lights so I don't look like a freaking snowman.
This was kind of like what was it? The fire preparedness box. My favorite item out of that was the the Wagon Tech Fred light, and I actually got some use out of that when we went on my hunting trip. We blew two
I saw that.
trailer tires. Yeah, so got some use out of those, which was awesome. But this is kind of like that for me, this little alarm, because I could see it being used a whole bunch of different ways. Like for when my kids, when they start walking to school, you know, put it on their backpack. If somebody tries to fuck with them, they just pull it, you know, and alarm goes off. Or if you were in a situation where you needed some perimeter defense, setting up a tripwire or some other trigger that would pull it out.
Yeah.
Set off an alarm. If you wanted to alarm your door in a hotel room, yeah. Hey, somebody just mentioned that I'm really loud compared to you. So let me mess with some stuff. You guys, tell me if this is any better. Does this get any better? Is this any better for the audio? Go ahead and speak real quick, buddy.
I'm good. I mean, then again, I can't really hear myself, but you know, as far as I'm concerned, you're all good.
Okay, so if anybody in the peanut gallery has anything to help with the volume situation, let me know. Okay, so that's that. So going back to the knife of the month, I am not a fan of the karambits in general as a knife. But this one I thought was really well done, and as far as like how they put it together, being one of the first items from, you know, BattleTac, their in-house manufacturing company, I thought it was pretty solid, personally.
No, there's really nothing missing out of it. The handles, they're made very well. The mechanism works great. I appreciate the D2 blade. It has ergonomics. It has almost like a futuristic look. It has a double locking mechanism. There's a lot of detail on it, like those pivots, you know.
Right.
I thought it was, and it has a clip. So honestly, as a fan of karambits, I was quite pleased with this one. I like it. I like it to the bone, actually. And I think that, I mean, you know, this is a clean case of a defensive blade. It's, you know, it's good for blocking, and it's not very visible. So you have that advantage. Also, it's light, and it kind of gives you the ability to clean your rooms if in case you had to with a pistol, such as this, you know, in this formation. So there's quite a few defensive pluses for this blade for a karambit design, period. And I think that from the quality standpoint, from the aesthetic standpoint, there's really nothing missing on this knife. And I don't know, man. I love it. I thought it was a hit. I thought they've done a great job.
Yeah. As far as it being what it is, you know, like I said before, I'm not a fan of that style of knife, especially a folder of that style of knife. If I was going to get one, I would prefer to be almost, I would prefer to be a fixed blade version, which typically they are, traditionally, I guess you'd say. But for what it was, I thought it was well done.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought they'd done a great job. I mean, you may hate karambits or you may not care for karambits, but you know, one thing that can be said about this one is it's definitely well made, and it doesn't bring it down at all.
What do you think about the Gerber Go Strike? Oh, sorry. The Readyman knife.
it's funny you say that. I was going to ask you that earlier, but all right.
So for me, I think this is not a bad knife at all. You know, it's definitely interesting. Carrying the small of your back. You know, for me, I tuck in my shirt way too much for it to be super practical, just because, you know, well, I tuck in my shirt. So unless I'm wearing a coat, for me to EDC this, you know, it's just not super practical. But I could see some, I could see this being really useful for some folks. And for it being from ReadyMan, I thought that this was a really good item from them when I have been extremely critical of several of their items in the past. This is one of my more favorite items that they've ever come out with, that and the backpack.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, so this is a ReadyMan item. But my question really is, does ReadyMan have a knife factory in their, you know, in the warehouse where they make this, or was this sent out, or was this commissioned out? You know, I mean, how did this become a ReadyMan blade? Now, aside from that, I think it's a great knife. It's comfy. I appreciate the elaborated jimping here.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm a big fan of also the serrated blades, partial serrated blades. So that all works for me. It's like you said, it's not a bad knife, and I like the scout carry, which is the horizontal on the low of your back, you know, on your belt and whatnot. I think that's a good deal. I'm gonna actually start carrying this tomorrow in that very formation, right? Or in that very way. So give it this, because I don't tuck in my shirts. I like to let it hang out, and and yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot, see if I can keep it concealed. And the thing I like about that method of carry is that it's a quick access, you know, and quick deployment. Just boom, it's as easy as, you know. Well, shit, it doesn't get any easier than that, especially since you get to hide your hand. And say if you're in a situation where someone's actually looking at you, you can, if you do it carefully enough, you know, you can get away with it, like just kind of your hand being behind you, like you're, you know, maybe reaching for your wallet and you're coming out with this knife. So I like that about it. But yeah, you mentioned something about a ghost earlier.
What? It's very similar to another knife.
Strike. Yeah.
And it was a viewer who pointed it out to me. It's not like I have owned that knife, but once they pointed it out to me in the comment section on a video, I was like, yeah, you're right. Hard to argue. You added a little bit of, I think, jimping on the top and serrations.
Yeah, I mean it's almost like a twin, you know. And here's the thing though, I had no idea this knife existed. The ghost thing, what did they call it? The Ghost Recon or
Ghost Strike?
Ghost Strike. I had no idea it existed until this morning, because as you noticed, I actually did a post on it this morning on Instagram, and I started kind of goofing around and trying to see if I can find some reviews on it, if somebody already posted one. And then there was only one review I found, and it's like, and it says Ghost Strike versus the Wraith. And I was like, what the hell?
Right.
And apparently a different company has a knife that looks fucking identical almost.
Right.
Now, you know, you got to really think, okay, skeletonized knife is not really, you know, something that's unpopular. There's tons of skeletonized knives, and you know, wrapping it with rubber doesn't necessarily make it proprietary. I'm willing to bet that, because I mean, I'm pretty deep into knives, and I haven't seen that fucking knife anywhere else until it was in my hand from the box. You know, so I'm willing to bet that this was like a coincidence. I'm wavering on that side, and I'm thinking that perhaps where that knife was put together and where the other knife was put together is the same place. Maybe they saw an opportunity. Maybe they made a bad suggestion. Maybe somebody said okay to it, and that's how this came out to be.
Did you see the box? Like,
yeah, no, everything.
No, did you see the box though? Like right here.
Yeah, right? Yeah, it's designed by, and you know,
which isn't bad. Like, I'm not saying anything bad about it. Like, it just is what it is. You know what I mean? It's not like I don't know. I don't
know. Okay, look, they're fucking twins. But what got me, what really puts this situation on the line is the fact that the rubberized handle and the overall shape of the handle is pretty much fucking dead on. Now, like I said, there's tons of skeletonized knives out there. Nobody gives a shit about that. Really, you know, the only thing that really makes it kind of weird is the fact that the rubberized handle or the material and the way it looks is pretty much the same as the other one, including the little dots or whatever you want to call those little upsets here.
The texture, yeah.
Right, texture. So,
but you know, it is what it is. I don't know. You know, the one thing that I am kind of excited about, and I don't mean to just totally move on from Mission 32, but I kind of want to. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about Mission 32?
I think that we should, at the very least, you know, give props and give an honorable shout out, especially since one of the fucking bottle opener.
Oh my god! Sorry.
So, yeah, the Bastion thing, the Bastion Nook.
Yeah.
If it wasn't a bottle opener, to be honest, you know, I don't think I would be happy with it.
But it's got a glass break.
It's got a glass break. But I got to tell you, and I've heard you talk about it on your video, it is not really set up to work as a Nook.
No, it's not set up for striking. It does not. I mean, for me, it just does not. Any way I put it in the can, it's just not right.
Yeah, the offset is uneven. It needs to be even. Like, the fingers need to be on the same level. This is going to hurt you more than it's going to hurt that poor son of a bitch that's going to get his jaw broken.
It's going to do some damage.
So, no, it will do some damage, but to both parties.
It's going to break your hand, too.
Yeah. So, but I mean, the cool part about it, let's give it some props. The glass breaker is nice. Of course, the bottle opener, which is 50% of cool factor in this thing, but also this convenient way, of storing it in your belt.
That is pretty cool.
That is freaking awesome. Just for that, I would fucking wear it, and I probably will. So I love that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And we haven't spoken about this breath freshener.
Yeah. Do you want to test that out for us right now?
Yeah, hang on, let me. I've been through a gas chamber before, and it's doable, but it's not necessarily like something I want to do for shits and giggles. But you know, the thing about these things, these little sprayers, it's kind of hard to aim with a stream. I don't know. I haven't tested it. Like I said, I don't know if it's spray to mists or if it just shoots that little thing out, like a little stream of liquid, which is really hard to aim with. So a lot of times these things affect the the victim as much as the perp. And of course, the this which my dog.
That sound is like a shotgun racking. I mean, that will quiet a party down really quick. You know what I mean?
My dog hates it for sure. Almost as much as the red noise maker, the rain thing.
The alarm. That's from the same company that did the pepper spray, isn't it? Saber?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saber.
Cool. Okay, so one thing that about Mission 32, just as a whole, I think we covered pretty much everything that was in that box. And the feedback that I was getting from a bunch of viewers was, it's cool seeing some BattleTech items, but people are open to maybe 1 or 2 items in a box, but they don't want the whole box to be BattleBox branded or BattleTech items.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with that. A lot of people, myself included, they signed up for the service to be introduced to new companies and or at least new items from old companies that you maybe otherwise wouldn't hear of. So if we were to get like a BattleTech bottle box, that'd be kind of like, all right, well, that was the easy way out. Now, having said that, if those items were freaking amazing, then I guess I could let that go. But
yeah, it'd be hard to get pissed off if it was all like really high quality stuff,
Right. But at the same time, I don't think this is their goal by any means. I think I think it's an interesting business situation that they're doing. Having this opportunity to sort of start up a company and produce things that that are designed with a purpose, something that they see maybe works better than maybe they want to get it right where other people got it wrong. And that's cool. I appreciate that. I think it's and I'm not mad for him including 2 items in this box at all, especially since both of them are really nice. The Kubaton as well as the Knife of the Month. I could probably do like one-time thing where all the items are BattleTech, which I still don't think it's going to happen. I don't think this is going to be possible.
Right.
But yeah, I think there's so many other brands out there, and there's so much stuff out there still that I would probably expect something more diverse in the future. Now, if every box from here on out has like 1 item from BattleTech, all right, cool.
What if every box going forward, the Knife of the Month was from BattleTech?
The Knife of the Month only?
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't be super cool about that. Not that I have anything against BattleTech. It's just like I said.
You like to get knives from new companies, right?
Yeah, like I mean, look, we've had, granted, 32 missions so far is a lot. It's a lot of missions. That's 32 boxes. And in those boxes, we were introduced to roughly about 20 different brands as far as Knife of the Month is concerned, right? And I like that. I don't want that number to get any smaller in ratio. I think, part of the charm of this service is that you get different stuff, not just from, BattleTech. When BattleBox does that, it might as well just redub the box into BattleTech.
Or call themselves Alpha Outpost.
But, okay, look, to BattleBox's credit, Alpha Outpost they just
with
buy
shitty
shit
stuff.
from Alibaba and put their fucking logo on it,
Oh, I know. I totally agree. And
which is like the biggest cop out.
I pointed that out in my video too, saying that the difference was, or maybe in a comment, saying that the difference is Alpha Outpost would slap their brand on shitty stuff. You know what I mean?
And I mean,
and
yeah,
all the branded items that we've received from BattlBox have been quality, for the most part, quality items.
Yeah, I mean, and this is why I'm okay with it, you know, because so far, like the items that are, you know, designed by Daniel and or when they're straight up just BattleTech, they're not shit. They're not cheap. They're not made badly. They're not like lacking anything. It's just, you know, it's a maybe you can say that even it's a brand that was born of necessity, but it's not really like shorting people out on anything like that. I would totally freaking buy this if it, you know, if I ran into it at like a gun show or whatever, and it had BattleTech, and I didn't know it. Look, it's just, it screams quality. I mean, you can't look. You can hate the platform, but the knife itself, it's very well made. I would totally buy this. You know, on the outside of BattleBox, so you can't be really mad at them for that. You know, I definitely would like diverse boxes from, you know, in the future, and I don't really think they're gonna be doing like all out BattleTech items in every, you know, in every box from here on out. It's just because I mean, come on, that's harder. Having to design so much shit month after month is virtually harder than finding them that are already made. So just by that, you know, I know it's not going to happen. But
these guys in the comment section, I'm reading it right now. They're cracking me up. Okay. Anyways,
what am I missing? Because I'm trying to keep up, but I'm sure
it's impossible, dude. Just, you know, you got to look down every now and then, and yeah, that's hilarious. And the bad thing is, if somebody watches this on a replay, they don't get the context when I laugh at a comment or I say something about it, you know? So it's kind of a bummer, but it is what it is. So I think it's been teased. Yeah, look, you're laughing at it too. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Talking about shit pics and
oh man.
Oh yeah.
I love it. Awesome. Oh shit, hang on a second. Let me I need to grab something real quick before I lose my shit.
Shut up, Scott. Okay. One thing that I think is kind of cool while he's out doing whatever he's doing.
Back.
Oh, hey, you're back. Is that I think it was teased. I haven't been following along the spoiler thread too closely, but I think it was teased that we finally get a fixed blade knife. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. Has it been confirmed?
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
And that's freaking awesome because the last fixed blade knife that we got was the UTK S4, the Utica knife, the 4-inch.
Really?
That was the last fixed blade knife we got.
Are you fucking serious?
Think about it.
That was mission 24?
It was like February this year, maybe.
Wow. That's like more than half a year ago.
Yeah. In the meantime, we've got 2 axes.
Yeah. That was fucking weird.
2 or 3. And a bunch of folders.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is fine. You know, it is what it is.
I didn't expect to have so many axes as a knife of the month, to be honest. Lucky for them, I love axes.
You know which one I've been getting some use out of and I've actually been enjoying is the Zippo.
Yeah.
That thing's pretty cool. Like the more I use it, the more I'm like, you know what, this isn't that bad.
Oh yeah, it's decent. I love that Zippo thing. No, it's a good axe.
Does your wife like not hate it that you smoke in the house?
I typically don't. You know, but today is a special day,
Uh-huh.
and I don't give a fuck. So she's gonna have to do. I, you know, I can't smoke cigarettes in here for sure. I'm not gonna be able to get away with that. So it's either cigarettes or this, and this is much better. And this is not a crappy cigar either. This is a Padron.
Padron.
Yeah, world's the best cigar you can get on you know, in the States, I'd say, without fucking, you know, flying something from Cuba. The anniversary blend, man, this is really good stuff.
That's cool.
This is as good as it gets. I mean, this is like if you're not into cigars and you want to buy one that you can enjoy, yeah.
It's not too overpowering.
No, you want to get the natural. You have to make sure you get the natural one, not the Maduro. If you get the Maduro anything, that's gonna kill you if you're not a cigar smoker.
Right.
But the natural anniversary series, get them while you can because that's a limited run. Man, it's like fucking candy. Love it.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
Yeah.
A lot of the times, and I think we may have chatted about it before, but a lot of times when you talk, you have a little bit of an accent. It's very faint. But where were you? You were born
Not in America.
Turkey. No, I'm just joking.
Turkey. Damn. Hey.
No, where were you born?
So I was born in Poland, actually. So by most people's standards, I'm a Polak.
How many?
Now,
No, I'm just joking. Go ahead.
so yeah, that's where I'm actually from. My parents are Polish, 100%. Well, okay, for the purposes of this broadcast, not getting fucking too in depth on my you know, descendants and all. My parents are 100% Polish, and I was born in Poland, which makes me Polish. But I have to say that my origin is Austrian, as is my last name. It's my last name, although it sounds Polish, it's actually from Austria, ending in SKY. Typically, our last names, or Polish people's last names, end in SKI. So that's a little, very, 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 very little known fact about Southern Gunner. Now, I was born in the capital city, Poland, back when Poland was under the French. So yeah, that was an interesting childhood.
So how old were you when you moved? Did you go straight to the States, or was it like when the Berlin Wall fell? What was the deal with that?
How was it like when I was born?
No. When did you leave?
Okay. So I moved to Houston in 1992.
How old were you?
I was 12 years old.
Did you speak any English?
No. I mean, yeah, okay. I spoke I knew my name is Hugh. This is a duck. Go fuck yourself. That was about the extent of my vocabulary in English.
No way. When you were 12, you were walking around.
Oh,
this is a duck. My name is Hugh. Go fuck yourself.
Basically, I mean, those are like the essentials, right? And where you go. But no, look, I've taken some classes. Plus, by the time that it was mandatory for kids my age to take a foreign language in school, and which was in elementary school, 4th grade. In 4th grade, we have to take a foreign language. Choice, it had to be Russian. But I was actually the first generation that experienced the beauty of choice, the freedom of choice, in which I chose fucking anything but Russian. or actually I chose specifically English. So that was a big deal. You know, I'm like the Planck generation. You know, that was kind of a big deal. So I learned what you would learn here when you try to take Spanish in high school, which is you come out knowing nothing.
Right.
Believe me, because I tried to learn Spanish in high school and I came out knowing fucking nothing. I did manage to get a B in there somehow. So whatever the hell that means.
Huh. So, okay, so you got here, you were 12. You grow up, your teenage years are here. You kind of, for lack of a better term, kind of integrate into American society, and you decide, I want to go in the Army.
Yeah. Well, the Army thing, it's the Army thing was a combination of reasons. One of them is I grew up in an Army family. My dad was the first one to break that tradition. But I grew up listening to my grandpa's stories, and since I was a kid, I had like a fake uniform, and my grandpa gave me some of his medals and stuff, as a keepsake. So I would actually put those medals on a shirt that was green, and I would proudly wear it in the neighborhood. It was just something I did. I was like super about Army. I just wanted to fucking get assigned, kill crowds, and drink beer and smoke cigars like ASAP.
Awesome.
And yeah, it had to be crowds. Anyway, so the thing, is my grandpa wouldn't ever want me to sign up for the Army if it was not in a free world. However, of course, in Poland back then, in those days, you didn't really have a choice. You had to serve in the Army. Every male had to serve in the Army unless they were like mentally unable, or they were in jail, or they were in college, or they were like severely sick. So like 25 to 30% of the population somehow managed to find a bullshit excuse and find their way out of the Army because nobody wants to work for the communist dogs, right? But lucky for me, I ended up moving to the United States, which was a freaking blessing. And when I got here, it was just a no-brainer. It was just a matter of time. So a week after I graduated high school, and on my 19th birthday, on the very day, I got on a plane, destination Fort Benning, Georgia, and I became the infantryman of the free world fucking Army. Yeah, and that's my story on that. And I did it with pride. It had to happen.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How long were you in the Army for?
Well, unfortunately, I didn't get to finish my term. I was in it for 2.5 years. Ended up severely, well, not severely, but fucking up my back to the point where they decided I was better off not being a liability and a risk. So they let me go on a medical discharge. But yeah, I put in 2.5 years. I've done some air assault, and I've done a couple of things I was very proud of. And, the way I was thinking, the way when I was going in, I thought I was going to stay there for at least make a pretty good career out of it. Things change. And, it's, the current situation is what it is. And I guess it was just the way it was meant to be.
Okay, I have another question. And this is something I think about because, my son is young, but in 10 years, he'll be of that age where, you go down to the post office, you sign your name, and he'll be able to make a choice at that point in time, if that's a direction he wants to go. And right now, he's already talking about it, you know what I mean? Which I'm okay with, you know what I mean? I'm good having that conversation with him. but with the current state of the army and all of the bureaucracy and, all of the kind of, stuff that, politicians kind of, it seems like, use the military for better or for worse as a social experiment, when really I don't think they should be involved with it too much. Let the military run the military. With all of that going on, if you had a son right now, he was 18, he came up to you and said, "Dad, I'm going to go in the army," what would you say?
Well, it's funny you mentioned all the turmoil that the country's been experiencing politically and everything like that. The one of the reasons why I was okay with the things turning out the way they did for me, as far as my military career is concerned, is that shortly after I left the army, which was in 2000, August 2000, shortly after, we had a very big crisis. I don't know if you remember the 9/11, right? And when that happened, I was severely depressed. I was not myself. I pretty much had PTSD from knowing that I'm not going to be able to go with my, boys and do what they're about to do.
All right.
But then, as time kept going and the situation kept unraveling, and more and more things were brought up to the light, I've started to realize that, like, and every soldier has asked themselves that, at one point or another. If they say they didn't, they're fucking full of shit. But, like, what the fuck are we doing over there for real? Because I don't mind just reason. I really don't. I'll do it right now. But, when things become hazy and politics are overwhelmingly kind of the center of reasons of why we're there, you really start to think. If you can't think, you can process thoughts, who's this war for? Is it really for our freedom? Is it for oil? Is it for, fighting terrorism? Is it for, I've got the bigger dick? Or what is it really for? So if my son came up to me right now and said, "Hey, I really want to do this thing," I would have to honor it, regardless. That mission is bigger than us, whatever the hell it might be. And if he's doing it for patriotic reasons, then it really doesn't matter what the wars are for. I mean, the only thing you can do is say, "Look, son, be careful. And don't lose your mind when you're out there. Don't forget why you're doing this. And don't lose focus of why you're there." Personally. Now, if my answer was to be based strictly on, I don't know, logical reasons, then I probably would be like, "Look, man, I know what you're trying to do. Maybe just wait a little while. Maybe, maybe hang in there. Maybe see what happens. It's kind of weird right now. But, I mean, what are you going to do? If a kid wants to do it, they're going to do it. And if you tell them not to, and they don't, well, this is more of a father and son issue rather than, a politics issue.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I kind of, I guess, boiled it into in my head. And nothing, really beats, like, actually being in that situation. But, if that's what he would want to do, he's 18 and, he can, make his own decisions at that point. And what else am I going to do but, like, support him? You know what I mean? It's a noble thing to sacrifice, things that you want for hopefully what is the, what is the good of your countrymen? You know what I mean? And I think there's so much that can be learned and all of that. You know what I mean? I was talking to my brother-in-law who was in the Army for several years, and I wasn't in the Army, so I don't know what that life is like. But I asked him, hey, with everything that happened, would you trade that decision? And his thing was, no, man. It made me who I am today.
Yeah.
Broken shoulders and all that combined, it made him who he is today. So
No, absolutely. And it's really about your own core values more so than anything else at this point. If you make connections, Army's more than just deploying to the sand dunes and killing the enemy, right? The connections you make and the people you meet and everything else like that, that's got a reason of its own. The craziest thing about the Army is that it is composed of just about every corner of the United States, and many different people are they're coming together to make this group a thing. So
right.
the people you'll meet alone, like I can't think of a single situation in my life that taught me more about life than the Army. Especially when I had been in my face, when I was in at one time or another. It is crazy what you learn and what you take from it. And that experience, man, like I don't think I would get anywhere else, to be honest. So I'm grateful for that. And that's that's all the things you have to consider.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so what else do we want to talk about?
Well, I've got a couple of questions for you, man.
Oh, hey, look at that. We didn't plan that. No.
This is not going to be a one-way conversation, sir.
Hey, hang on just one moment. I need a refill, so chat with these fools and answer questions.
All right. I'm just wanted to let you know, Chris. I know you can hear me walking away, but I see there's some donations happening right now.
I know these people are amazing. Thank you, Ruthless.
Yeah, thank you guys, because apparently I'm getting 50% of that of those donations, which is really nice of Chris. Did he fall on the ground yet? No, I don't think so. No, but hey guys, thank you very much for checking us out today. That's very nice of you to make time. Oh, there he is. I was about to make this whole big long speech about like how grateful I am for everybody being here, but then you came back and fucking ruined it.
Sorry.
So let's get to no. So let's get to some questions, because I did have a few, and they may not be as deep, but I think they're things that have been running around my head. So the first thing I wanted to know, I mean, I don't know. I've seen quite a bit of your videos, fishing videos, specifically fishing videos, and I really love the Delta ones. And I imagine you must have casted a fishing rod, I don't know, I would say somewhere around 5,000 times now. Now, I've seen you pull out some crazy shit, some new species that you've been keeping up with, or you've been trying to reach your goal, and big fish and small fish. But I gotta ask you, what is by far, if that ever happened, the weirdest thing you pulled out of a lake that wasn't necessarily a fish?
Oh, the weirdest thing I've ever pulled out of a lake that wasn't a fish? Well, I did hook myself one time. Does that count?
Did you ever pull out like a toilet seat like you see in cartoons? Or
no, most of the time if there's something that big and heavy down there, it's gonna break your line or break my line. Trying to think.
So there was never like a boot or I don't know. like somebody's finger or?
No, never. Like, I'm trying to think, but no. I wish I could. I wish I had a good story. Trying to think.
A naked lady, a dead hooker.
Dead
I'm
hooker.
stop the chat.
Like, oh, the chat. Yeah. Um. Oh, I did catch a turtle once. That was kind of weird.
Ah,
I thought I just saw that in the comments, but I thought I had a huge fish on and I foul hooked the turtle. So unhooking him was interesting.
well, it's not a fish.
Yeah, he's trying to, bite at me and, do all sorts of shit. And I'm like, dude, I'm trying to help. Come on now, What else? What else is weird? I caught when I was fishing for redfish out in South Carolina early this year, I caught a shit ton of crabs, like a ton of crabs, because they just go towards your bait and latch on. You know what I mean? And that was interesting. Not even trying to catch crabs and catching them. But as far as inanimate objects, no. But one thing I want to do one of these days is get one of those like super heavy duty magnets, tie a rope onto it, go onto the Delta, go fucking magnet fishing, man. I bet you could find all sorts of stuff down there,
I always wanted to fish with a dynamite stick. I've never done that yet, and I heard it's all the rage. So that's on my bucket.
I've never done that either. M80, quarter stick, maybe.
Yeah.
But
Something.
yeah. I do want to try magnet fishing one of these days, though. Has anybody in the comment section ever done that before? Have you ever done the whole magnet fishing thing?
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I've never actually even thought about doing that. But it's kind of interesting how you go fishing and you come back home with crabs.
Well, they were talking about the hookers, right?
Somebody
in the water somehow. Come on.
Oh, damn. How about that? Well, yeah, I mean, my fishing days were huge back when I was in Poland, especially. My grandpa would take me every summer, several times, and we would go fishing in rivers and lakes and bayous and wherever the hell else, and that was our thing, and it's something that we did. When I came here, I think since I came to the United States, I've been fishing, I don't know, about 15 times. And, that's not a big number, considering I've been here for like 26 years. But I did pick up more hunting. So I guess that's that. Not that I hate fishing. I think fishing is fun. It's just, I don't know. It just never became my thing. It was always the hunting that took my attention.
Yeah, that's cool.
So outside of that, the the things that it's funny. Here we are out west with Chris and Southern Gunner, sitting around talking, and we're all brought here together by essentially BattlBox, but really by our I don't know if I call it a need or a necessity, but our drive to prep, to be ready to, because we're interested in survival items, really, right? And to me that's kind of interesting, that we are now kind of a part of a community like that. But really, how do you see, this whole idea of prepping and survival? Like, how, if at all, ready are you for? Let's just go ahead and cancel out the bullshit sci-fi stuff like zombie apocalypse or whatever. But like, in reality, like, how do you see yourself set up for what might come? In today's day and age, as a sort of an apocalyptic event, do you think you're good to go? Is this does the plan, do you even have a plan? And if you do, are you set according to that plan, or is this kind of like a more of a 50% entertainment, 50% practicality? And none of those answers are wrong. I'll be happy to answer that question myself if you want, but that's my question to you right now. How ready are you?
I definitely have some gaps. I recognize that. I mean, if anybody thinks they're really, ultra prepared for anything, I think you've either been doing it for a long time and you are ready, or you're kind of kidding yourself. The biggest thing for me, okay, so as far as, beans and bullets, I'm good. I'm good to go. You know what I mean? Water is somewhat of a weakness. I have a lot of filtering and that type of stuff, set up. But as far as having, 50-gallon drums of water in my backyard, or a still, water collection and all that stuff, I don't have that. As far as I don't have a bunch of gasoline prepped, and that I actually kind of need to get on, because part of my plan, I guess, and it's like this for everybody, because it involves your actual circumstances. And my actual circumstances are, I live in suburban California. My kids live a mile away. Well, they live with me 50% of the time. They live with their mom 50% of the time. So I have that whole thing to take into consideration. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Lucky for me, my ex is, she's open to that type of conversation. So she actually, has some preps set up as well. And we have a mutual plan, which I think is critical if you're in my situation. Because my whole thing would be, I got to take care of my kids. You know what I'm saying? It's not about me living. It's about my kids living. You know what I mean? If there was a situation. So, and Ruthless, it is what it is. Her and I have made it a point to, because of our kids and because we both want to be a part of their lives, we have made it a point to maintain a decent relationship for our kids' sake. Now, after my kids turn 18, I'm getting the fuck out of California and, going to go someplace free. But in the meantime, I'm here. You know what I mean? And so I have to plan accordingly. And part of my plan is, if I have enough notice, if I can read the tea leaves, which I doubt will happen, but if I can, it's get my kids, somehow coerce, drug, tie up my ex and throw her in the back of the truck too, with food, guns and ammo, supplies and fuel, and bug out. And my bug out location A is up where family is in Sticks in nowhere rural Washington. We have a plan that we talk about. You know what I mean? The other thing is, if I can't convince her of that, it's to convince her to go to where her family lives, where she grew up in Central California in the Sticks. And, there's a lot of like-minded family and friends down there that I still have contact with. So, it's to get out of suburbia, because, after a while, all of my thing is, I can just see civil unrest kind of flowing from metropolitan centers into suburban areas. And if that's the case, I may or may not have time to get out. And if I don't have time to get out, the plan would be go to her place, because she lives in a walled community, and rally support there with other like-minded neighbors, and just, unfortunately, fucking wait it out, which isn't ideal.
Yeah, and I mean, you're right about that. You can't Oh man, it just, you cannot, if you're in a suburban situation, if you're in a suburban area and you think you're gonna make it, you're dead wrong. So if you guys are listening, if you can't, if you question yourselves in this situation, uh, you know, the neighborhoods, the suburban neighborhoods are gonna be ransacked. Now you may have all the guns in the world, but unless you have a team behind your back, you know, you got a sniper on the roof and a bomb, you know, a grenadier, you know, that doesn't sleep. Uh, People will come together to take over you, and then they'll fight over what's left. So staying in a suburban area, thinking unless you have some kind of a bomb shelter, you know, you're fucking yourself.
Right. Luckily, I have like what I would call standoff distance. Like I live in a pretty far off bedroom community, which on a day-to-day basis sucks ass because of my commute. But
Yeah,
at the
same.
same time, it gives me some standoff distance. You know what I mean?
No,
So
same. Absolutely. I'm the same way. When I got my house, it was, yeah, it's suburbia, but it's a suburbia tucked away, fairly far from the main city. Like it takes me, like in traffic, it can take me up to like an hour to get to work. Uh, you know, which I guess it's about 20 miles from where I work, which is still about 15 miles from downtown Houston. So I'm really on the outskirts of the outskirts, and it's a start. You know, that's me giving myself a head start in that situation. So that at least is good. But
you know,
there's
it's good
so
and it's bad for me because I think like I think of North Korea, and while I don't think they're very like I don't think it's likely that they're going to shoot a nuke over on the West Coast. I think it could be fair. It's more likely, in my opinion, that they detonate an EMP that would, you know, at least take out the Western United States. So then at that point, I most likely have a 72-hour hike home. I think
yeah.
I could do it, and one of these days I ought to practice it. I don't know how practical that is, but as the crow flies, it's not that far, but I have like a little mountain, and I talk shit about this little mountain because it's not really a mountain, but a hill in between me and where I work. But depending on any given day, I could be 100 miles away from work. I could be 20 miles away from work. You know, it's all different. So I don't know. It's so being out in suburbia, having that standoff distance is a good thing and a bad thing because I got to get home first. And somebody mentioned that. Yeah,
No, that's
Scott
true.
mentioned that.
No, it's true. I mean, you know, that's the thing about, you know, living so far off from where you work, especially that, you know, it's not like you know, anybody's going to wait till it's the weekend while you conveniently sitting at home to set up a couple of nukes or EMPs. You know, you never know what's going to happen. If by some chance you happen to be at work and you have to come home, you know, and you're already going to be fighting the traffic. So that is a bit of a problem, but uh, you know, it's going to be a problem either way. Because I mean, if you live, you know, say 10 minutes from where you work, you're going to stop by at the house. You're going to pick up your family. You're going to try to, you know, put everything you can inside your car, all the supplies, all the equipment you can think of, and jet. So that's going to take time anyway. But, you know, at least, you know, not living in the center of the city, you know, let's say that it's some kind of a, you know, let's just not even say it's a nuke. Let's just say it's a bomb. It's going to drop in the center of the city, you know, and that's going to cause people to move out. You know, they're going to be stopping by neighborhoods and picking up where they didn't have at home and what they may need for the road. So they're going to be searching homes for, you know, guns, food, whatever. So by the time they get to you from after having to pick up the stuff at their house and their family, I think you're still ahead. But either way, you have to go. You have to go. You have to head out. You have to run.
You have little ones, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I have a daughter.
Okay. So this is kind of off topic, but I think it's an important thing. One of the things that I feel is important is when your kids are at a young age, is just to get them comfortable with simple things like walking in the woods at night, or carrying a pack, or cooking food over a campfire, getting used to being outside in cooler weather, all of those things. And that's something that, I do with my kids, or living without electricity. Like every now and then kids will come home and I'm saying, hey, we're going to have a fun night. We're just going to light some candles and, we'll eat some food and then we're lighting some candles and we're not going to watch TV. We can read some books. We can play some games. But have what is basically a no electricity night. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
And just kind of, get them accustomed to certain facets of a world that they might have to live in the future. Hopefully they don't.
Right.
They could, you know what I mean? So, getting them kind of accustomed to that, accustomed to like long walks, long hikes. We go for hikes quite a bit. That type of stuff. So
that's a great idea, and the thing with my daughter, she's a technologically advanced child, and
they all are, dude. It's fucking crazy. Like,
and she's got to have her phone and iPad, and she's got an iPad everywhere she goes. And I see that being potentially a problem. However, she's all about camping as well. She likes to hang out in a tent. She can keep herself occupied without it, because kind of like what you do is, she wants to watch TV or something. I say no. We have like this thing. It's called an art box. We have paper and pencils and markers and everything else. Like, look, make you a project, make this, make that, make something. Just try to get her to, do everything or anything other than anything that's connected to a wall. and she's cool with that. She can keep herself occupied, and I think she's very like advanced for her age when it comes to that. But she would have those moments where she was like, well, I want to watch TV or something. And, you can't help that. She's only 6. So she's about to be 6. So it's, with time, I'm sure it's going to change. But I think for her age and given how right now it's like we're raising a YouTube generation, she's doing pretty well. Thank God. Because I know I can pull her off of any of that stuff and just tell her to keep herself occupied with something else. But yeah, in the long run, I'm sure that'd be a different story, but she is a pretty understanding kid. But it's something that is a great way to train him, is to have like a no light night. I like that. And I think I'm going to actually implement that myself.
Yeah, 206 Survival had an interesting idea. Don't even warn them, just go shut the fucking breaker off. I think that's a great idea. Hey, power outage, But kind of going to preps, like, you live in Houston, you guys got slammed by fucking Hurricane Harvey.
Right.
Did that impact you? I know I talked to you a little bit and you said your neighborhood was relatively okay. But did that impact you at all? Like, what was that like for your community?
It was more stressful for us. And luckily, I mean, we didn't get any water in the house, but I had water. I mean, I was just an inch short of having water in my house. It was like, this is my porch. And
right. I saw those pictures. That was fucking crazy.
Yeah. It's like just a single brick porch. It's of the sidewalk. Halfway through that, the water stood there, and it was very stressful. Now, I know it doesn't compare at all in any way to what the people further down East are experiencing. You know, at the same time, this is exactly why I decided to move to the West, where I'm at right now, because I knew that, you know, being so close to the Bay, it's gonna, you know, the closer you are, the more you're open to the hurricanes and their effects. So this was a kind of a tactical decision on my behalf to move further away from the coast. But you know, so really all I've experienced was just a hellish stress and, you know, reigniting the flame with God that I've had, you know, praying that don't let the water get in. Uh, and that was pretty messed up, you know.
Was that pretty intense? Like, just
it was because
eyes?
no, seriously, like so we had several phases of rain. Like the first day came, and the water came up to like halfway in my driveway, and then the rain stopped, and the water recessed to like, I don't know, maybe about 6 to I'd say about 8 inches of water, and it was kind of flowing down. Of course, we weren't out of the woods yet. That was just the first phase. I don't know if you remember, but I actually, shortly after the rain stopped, I decided to start making cheeseburgers on my grill, which was a pretty freaking crazy thing to do, considering the wind was so freaking insane still. Like the rain went, but it was windy as hell, and I had a gas grill, so I was sitting there like fighting with the wind, trying not to get it to blow up my my grill. And I was like, the hell with this shit. I'm gonna be one of those idiots on Instagram. Look, I'm grilling in the middle of the hurricane. And but I knew we had more stuff coming. So the second phase of rain came, and they said it's gonna last a whole day, like 24 hours. So it did. And within the first 4 to 5 hours, I had water an inch away from getting inside the house. And that's, like I said, the first 5 to 6 hours. That's where it was.
Holy shit.
So now I'm out there thinking, shit, this is only the fifth or sixth hour. This is going to last for at least 20 more hours. We're going to have water in the house. There's no fucking way in hell that we're not going to have water. And every like 15 and 30 minutes, I would go outside and I would keep staring at that level, smoke a half a pack of cigarettes, go back inside, sit down on the couch, freak out, go back outside. And this shit was happening for hours and hours. And the water is not moving up. It's not moving down, but it's not moving up, but it continues to rain. Now, it wasn't like a hellish rain where it just kept pounding us. It was just a steady enough to look dangerous kind of a rain. But luckily the water was coming down and it coming, you know, going away as quick as it was coming down. So for the next,
like a fucking river out front of your house, right?
Yeah. So for the next 20 hours, I'm looking at the water level being an inch away from my, you know, getting into my doors, and it's just staying there. And I was sweating, dude. Like I said, you know, what I went through is what 50% of the people out east wish they had. But I lost my freaking mind, dude. I was losing my mind because I was just going out there as like, I didn't know if I should be happy that it's not happening or if I should, you know, just start considering, you know, plan B and plan C. It was one of the most stressful things I had to go through in the recent past, you know.
Right.
And it was terrible, man. It was
I have
terrible.
a buddy who lives in Houston, and he's a kayak fisherman as well. And his house was okay, but he was going around in his kayak, like paddling right up to people's doors and like knocking on doors, checking to see if people were okay or if they needed a way out of their neighborhood, and delivering. You know, there was like a brigade of these kayak fishermen that were, you know, delivering water and food to different neighborhoods that were underwater that couldn't get through, you know? I don't know. It's
Go ahead.
It's you know, I think the people of Texas, like, you didn't see, I think there were some isolated events of looting and stuff, but what what I saw, and I don't watch the news and stuff like that much, but what I saw was, people helping their neighbors. You know what I mean? And I think that shit. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm just an optimistic type of person, but I think in some areas of the country, there's probably more of that. People are more likely to help their neighbors. I don't know. Maybe I just am optimistic about certain parts of society and pessimistic about the part that I live in. You know what I mean?
Well, it's crazy. Texans, we're resilient. We really are. We go through this stuff every so often. Kind of like you guys have your earthquakes, we have our hurricanes. One thing I gotta tell you, there's something about the spirit of our city that it's just amazing. Not only that, I have to give a huge shout out. I have to give a huge shout out to all of the neighboring cities that were not affected and states that decided to take the time out of their day to come down and help the people here in need. We had this. We had this how do you say a group called the Cajun Navy.
Yeah.
Just private citizens, man, like from Louisiana, with freaking shallow boats that just came out here and spent like 2 and 3 days, rolling around, or more actually, probably a whole week, rolling around neighborhoods, pulling people out of houses.
Yeah, they were the ones that were, critical in the whole Katrina thingy, getting people saved because, the government was a little bit inept during that whole debacle.
Yeah.
I think that's another thing too, like when okay, so you had two big hurricanes. You had, what was it, Harvey and Irma that hit the U.S., continental U.S., and then you had the other one, I forget the name of it, that hit Puerto Rico. What was it?
I think it was Jose. No, I mean, no, that was another one that was hitting Mexico.
Yeah, there was.
It was Irma that really went through. Puerto Rico. That went through.
Irma that hit Puerto Rico.
Yeah, it went through Bahamas and then it went up north and hit Florida.
Yeah, there was one that just wiped out Puerto Rico, and I think the lesson to learn is like, when people rely on government to help them, they end up getting fucked. You know what I mean? So, I guess it goes back to prepping and being self-reliant, and
that's what FEMA stands for: fucking every motherfucker around.
That's awesome. I've never heard that before. That's great. So, being self-reliant in, that type of situation, because it's not going to be a zombie horde that gets you. You know what I mean? It's going to be an earthquake, a flood, a hurricane, possibly civil unrest or something like that. So,
no,
all for like an hour and a half, man.
Yeah.
I could keep going, but I don't know.
I'm fine. Like, as far as I'm concerned, man, I'm good. So that's up to you. But yeah, those strategies that's been happening. It's just instills my resolve in what I'm doing, being more than just fun camping gear with entertainment twist. I've had the survival bug for ages, man. Like I recently made a post on Instagram on my very first survival item that I've got. It's actually, I was still in Poland, so I was like 10 or 11, and I saw this thing at this hunting store. It was like a kind of like a combination multi-tool. It was like a card, and it had like a compass, a fork, a bottle opener. Thank God. A book, something or other. And it cost so much money, and I ended up like doing little chores for my family, and I would go see my aunties and uncles, and hey, do you need like something hammered into your wall? I'll do it right now for $5, you know. Collected that money and I bought this thing, and it was just like the beginning of the insanity for me at a very young age. You know, and as I've, as I've grown up and now I have a family of my own, it's just that much more purposeful, like, you know, and it's also an amazing excuse for getting new gear without getting any questions and looks. But really, yeah, no, but
I
really,
can segue really quick. Was that like the first time your wife has made an appearance on one of your Instagram feeds, or has she been on before on one of your?
no, she's been on before. She doesn't do it very often. Like, it's not that she's camera shy. I guess she just, I don't know. I don't know.
It's your thing. You do it, right?
Yeah, basically, you know.
Okay, so to everybody who's watching and hanging out, I was watching one of Southern Gunner's live streams or feeds or whatever video. Well, I don't know what you want to call it. Broadcasts on Instagram.
Unplanned debauchery video live.
Yeah, and his wife made a special appearance. This dude has a beautiful wife, and she seems like she's pretty cool too.
No, she is. She is.
Filipino?
Yeah, she was actually born in Texas.
Well, she has that Texas twang to her. You know what I mean? Like,
you know, that's the whole thing. Like, that's the thing that really grabbed me. It's not that she was hot. Okay, that's a lot to do with it. But like, she was like the only Asian I've ever met that had a country accent. I was like, that shit is so rare. I gotta put my fucking money on it right now before it disappears. So I did, man. And I'm married to an Asian with a Texas accent that is better than most rednecks I know, and it's fucking hot. I can't help it. So it works. It's good. It's good.
You're an overachiever. I just gotta say that.
Well,
and that's not knocking you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, it's funny how it all worked out, you know, and how we met and everything else. But yeah, thank you for this kind. She would be turning red right now if she was here.
So yeah, guys, subscribe to or follow him on Instagram, and you never know.
Yeah, like I told her, I was like, eventually when I get some, you know, more Southern Gunner products, I'm just gonna make you model for me, because, you know, why not?
Why not?
Like, no, you're not. Yeah, whatever. It's gonna happen. So yeah, you never know. Sign up for the IG and have the possibility of looking at my wife once in a while. I mean, that alone is worth millions.
Oh gosh. Okay, what's next?
What's next? I don't know, man. Like, we've been hitting a lot of different subjects. You know, we've been. I've actually, you know, the thing about these live broadcasts with you is, okay, our experience is rather slim because this is our second time, but they always seem so entertaining. Yeah, I don't want to stop talking. So I mean, we've touched up on BattlBox 32. We've thought about BattlBox 33. We talked about a lot of different random items. What's next for Atlas with Chris? I mean, I know you're obviously got more videos in mind, but you're also involved with so many different projects. You know, what's happening with that? Is this something you're going to be considering doing full time soon, or is it looking like it's gonna
full time? Wow, no. No. I mean, you know, if I lived in insert state name here where the cost of living isn't astronomical, maybe I could, you know, make a living doing this, but no. I mean, You know, I think people have the misconception that YouTube actually, you know, is something that can pay the bills. And I'm kind of a realist. And YouTube can't pay the bills unless you are a big channel. I mean, we're talking big channel.
Yeah. And typically you're not going to get there unless you're talking about, you know, like advert politics or some kind of senseless social drama in Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, there are channels similar to mine that, you know, I think could probably, you know, support themselves. But I mean, for the longest time, I was, you know, that camera right there didn't buy it itself. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This computer that I'm looking at right now didn't buy itself. So, you know, it's almost like this expensive hobby that I truly do enjoy. There are times it feels like a job for me, but it's, you know, it's kind of, it's an expensive hobby is what it is. It's an outlet. I am kind of a creative guy. You know, I'm one of those creative types. So photography, videography, you know, that type of stuff has always kind of been an interest of mine. And this is a way for me to kind of share my story, even though like unboxings have very little to do with my story. You know, the channel is a way for me to share my story. So it's just a hobby thing. Now there are some things that are kind of interesting, and some opportunities that have come about that have, you know, that I feel very, you know, lucky and blessed to be around. And, you know, like I paid for my battle boxes for a long damn time, you know what I mean? And now because of viewers, not because I asked for it, but because of viewers, you know, it's something they comp. You know, I get stuff free occasionally from other people. And then there are opportunities that come up, like my partnership with Go Prepared Survival and, you know, the stuff that we're working on together. You know, that could potentially someday in the future lead into a full-time job. You know what I mean? Hopefully something that could support me and my kids. But, you know, with everything, I mean, that's my primary thing, right? Why prep if, you know, I'm not going to be able to like take care of my kids and day-to-day stuff, you know what I mean? So
no, I hear you. Yeah, I mean, you know, making money with YouTube is hard enough. I mean, it can happen to a certain degree, but it's not going to pay all of your bills, not at least not at our level. And it's even worse for Instagram. I think that's one of the common misconceptions that people have is like, Instagram doesn't do shit. The only thing they want from me is money to advertise bullshit, which I'm not going to give them. You know, it is a very expensive hobby, and I've been known to go through hobbies that weren't just time consuming, but also very expensive because it was either, you know, whether it's cars and working on cars and building shit, or music. Music was a huge thing for me for the longest time. I mean, from when I was 15 to about when I turned, I guess, 30s, when I really just said fuck it to everything. Music was a big thing for me. I was producing it. I was playing guitar. I was playing bass. I was pretty much involved in music in any way you can imagine. I've done a lot of great things with that. I've met a lot of great people, but you know, it took a lot of money from me, a huge investment with literally no return, other than, you know, the experiences that I've had from it, which are kind of priceless to me. And you know, after music kind of died out for me is when I really just went nuts with you know, survival and everything else. And like I said, it was always a part of my life, and I always had guns, and I was always all about survival and, you know, going camping and everything like that. But like I really started investing heavy money into it when I was right around 30. Um, and that's what it is right now. Like the reason why I'm really big on Instagram, or I should say why I'm putting a lot of time into Instagram is because, you know, my first and foremost thing is photography. I love taking photos. I think I kind
You
of have
do
a knack.
such a good job at it too. Like, I'm not trying to kiss up or anything, or suck up or anything, but like your photos are so fucking good. Like I'm always like, damn, that's a really good picture of that knife. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't know. I admire your work.
Well, I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it, and you know, it's kind of what it is. Like really, the Instagram thing. It's really all about photography. You know, the photography of, you know, still life, and you know, that's what I enjoy about it the most, which is why I put so much attention and time into it, because it really is a big process. It's not like I'm just gonna, you know, quick snap a photo and put some bullshit on the bottom in the comments and, you know, hashtag bullshit. Uh, it's a process. Like it takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours sometimes to post a picture for me, including, you know, the shoot, because you got to take a couple of pictures, pick the best one, the one you like the most, you know, put the finishing touches on it, and then write up something about it, just strictly out of love, and that's how that happens. Which is why I'm bigger on Instagram than I am on spending time with YouTube, which I'm really trying to kind of track back and go half and half on this situation now. I kind of want to do more videos and more insights, and spend a little bit less time on Instagram. That's going to mean that something's going to have to take a hit, and it's not going to be the quality of photos, because at that point it's not going to make sense for me to post. So I'm probably going to stop writing so much in my posts.
Oh yeah, you do write quite a bit. It's like a descriptive, description.
Yeah, yeah, I do write a lot, you know, and it's a I love to write. Writing has kind of been my thing for a while, you know, whether it's lyrics or poems or, you know, reviews. I always like to go all out and really, you know, choose my words carefully and all that. So I love that part of it as well. But it's just like, man, I'm just one guy. I have a 9 to 5. I have a wife. I have a kid. Something's got to give, and it's not going to be my wife and kid, right?
Right. Totally.
So, you know, it's a huge thing to balance. It's a very time consuming hobby, and you know, and essentially, you know, I really don't get much out of this, uh, other than the fact that some people like my pictures, and you know, maybe.
But it's a creative outlet for you, right?
Right. It's what it is.
Right.
And you know, like you said, it does open you up to certain opportunities, and you meet people and you talk to people and you collaborate, and that's where the fun is.
That has been the best thing for me. Sorry to interrupt, but like being able to meet people through this, whether it's me and you talking here, or like Gray Fox from Sly Fox Tactical. Him and I have done some live streams together, and we've actually met in person. Fireman Swanee from the BattlBox forums. A number of different people. One of my better friends right now is a fishing buddy that I met because somebody like connected us. It was like, dude, you got to fish with this guy, and he's becoming a really good friend. And it's a lot of it's because I just so happen to have a freaking YouTube channel. You know what I mean? That's not particularly good, in my opinion. But some people find entertaining. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about, man. Like I've met a whole network of people and got an opportunity to work with a lot of people and companies as well so far. And it's been a lot of fun. It's, you know, it's the most it's really a big part of, you know, the reason of doing why I continue to do it, you know.
So, hey, what do you think about we're going to be rolling up on 2 hours in 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Think about just taking some questions, following along with the forum and taking some questions and answering and doing that type of shit.
Absolutely. Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
We'll close out the 2 hour mark. So the next 20 minutes, just chatting with folks in the comments. And I need to take a piss. So if you could kind of take over for a few minutes, just with the comment section. If you guys have questions, now's the time. And really quick, want to say thanks to John Z for popping in. Dude, I didn't notify you that we were doing a live stream. John Z is one of my long time subscribers and somebody I'd call a friend who, you know, is I've set up as a moderator for a live stream. So, you know, I really appreciate John's help. I guess he put out a little fire just today. I guess there was something going on in the comment section that he had to deal with. So thank you, buddy. Really appreciate it. And to everybody who's hit that little donate button, I don't even know how to do it, but John, he was like, dude, just set it up. Just turn it on. All you gotta do is click a button, turn it on. If people want to do it, they can do it. So to the folks that hit that little donate button, I really do appreciate it. So every little bit helps, right? I appreciate it. All right, so I'm gonna go take a leak. Southern Gunner is gonna take over the stream for.
All right, now it's our time, right? All right, guys. So again, as I was saying when Chris left last time, I just really appreciate you guys showing up and listening to us talk. It really does mean the world to me. You know, really thankful for you guys taking the time out of your, you know, Monday of all days to hang out with us. I'm gonna scroll up and try to find some questions that I saw there for a second. First one is from Scotty96. Who is your favorite mod on BattlBox forums? Sure as hell ain't Chappie, I'll tell you that much. That son of a bitch. Nah, man, everybody loves Chappie, man. That's just a fact. But you know, it's man, don't make me choose, please. I mean, goodness, I don't even know. You know, I'm very well familiar with Chappie, and I do enjoy his input once in a while. But yeah, let's go to the next questions. Yeah, Rebecca, man, that's crazy. I miss her, seeing her around, that's for sure. Let's see here. Okay, I saw another one. I swear I did. Okay, where did I get the radio? This blue one right here. Well, I'm a fan of antiquities and such, and sometimes during my free time, I search the YouTube. I search the eBay for just interesting things like radios or, you know, I mean, my freaking office here is full of crazy shit. I mean, a whole lot of different antiquities. Even that lamp there. I'm a big collector of masks and yeah, some other things here and there. But that particular radio, I found it on eBay. As far as I know, it's all original. Just somebody decided to paint it baby blue. Caught my eye, had to have it. I'm a big fan of Fallout games. I don't know if you guys ever are gamers or if you play Fallout, but it's a post-apocalyptic, go figure game, and it's just a lot of the artwork in it is originating from like the 50s. So that radio is just like kind of a nod to that game. Let me see. Okay. Where was I? Uh-oh. Trying to find some more questions. I think I just lost my freaking place.
You lost your place. What the hell? I mean, come on now.
Oh, I was trying to read through these questions and something.
Favorite BattlBox of all time? Man, that's tough. Chris go pee where Chris wants to go pee. That's a good answer to that question.
Oh, here we go.
Do you remember the food box? I think it was mission 9 or 10. That was a good
food box mission. I think it was 10.
That was a good box.
It was a good box. I like the hunting box.
The hunting box was a good box.
Yeah.
I think the knife of the month was that was the buck.
Yeah.
The hunting box, and that's a nice knife, but I think I've had more favorite knives since then. The Cub was amazing.
Well, yeah, maybe we should go with a favorite knife of the month. So like in my case, I think just strictly because how rare it is, you cannot buy it anymore, and it was a huge hit. But Mission 2 knife, the CRKT Ken Onion, and that's one of my favorite knives for sure.
Huh. I didn't get that one. I think I started up around mission 8 or 9. I can't remember. And the one that I want, and I haven't gotten, I could try to get on the trade forums and get it, was the Abiqua Hunter. That it's a Damascus.
Oh yeah. That was mission 5. That was from mission 5, which was the first bushcraft box, wasn't it? Was it called bushcraft? Yeah, that was bushcraft.
Yeah.
1.0. Yeah.
I wasn't signed up then though.
Yeah, that was an awesome knife. Okay, let me see here. God damn, I keep losing my spot. Let me see here. Where did I get that radio?
The one with the binoculars was Land Nav. Right?
Yeah. I remember the Land Nav. That Land Nav was pretty good too.
Land Nav was pretty good. Originally, I did not like it much, but it grew on me. Okay, read the comments. Okay, I'm reading the comments, Fireman20.
Favorite hunting caliber? I'm gonna go with a safe answer of 50 cal.
That's a safe answer.
Yeah, fuck everything
okay,
up.
what's the oldest? Kaylin had a question. What's the oldest item in your collection?
Oh wow, that's debatable because I have some shit here. I mean, we're talking about the antiquities, right? Here, I'll show you guys. It's potentially the oldest item in my collection. I don't know if you can see these two statues right there on the top.
Below the urn thing?
Below the urn, yeah. Those are actually carved out of like whalebone.
Really?
Yeah.
And was that a tortoise shell that you have on one of your walls?
Yes, it was. That turtle shell is like over 100 years old too, by the way. My the heirloom from my wife's family. But yeah, these are from China. Carved out of whalebone. Possibly one of the oldest items I have. An interesting item that I do have is also here. It's not the oldest one. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's a teaspoon. You betcha. Hang on a second. Let me find the damn camera thing. And this is gonna be hard to see, but this is actually right here on the screen. You're gonna see it to the very left of my finger. I don't know if you can focus. It's a tiny little thing, but that's a swastika right there. This was the official freaking cutlery of Third Reich at one point or another. So that's really crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, that's just perks of being in Europe a couple of times. And then there's this. This should be easier to see. This is a lapel that the good people at Volkswagen used to wear.
Somebody asked if that was an absinthe spoon.
No, that was just a regular teaspoon.
You have quite the collection there, dude. That's really cool.
Oh, I love antiques, man. I think, history is something to be remembered, not forgotten.
Were they family heirlooms or were they things you went out?
Yeah, some of them are family heirlooms. Like my grandpa used to work for the Polish railway, and this is actually his hat that he wore, his official railway hat. This is like from the 40s, 50s, I should say. Then there's a couple of stones here. I don't know if you can see that. This one right there. This is a pot handle that came from, I guess this will be the oldest item I have. This is, if you're familiar with the story of Masada from the Bible, that was a city that got just basically completely annihilated by, I think, the Romans. And it was like buried for years and years. And then after excavation, they came up, they started finding all these like pots. Somebody found a pot and they kept digging and digging and found like where the entire city of people was just hiding away from the Romans when they caught up with them. So if that's not a fake, that thing goes back to like BC. Yeah. So some pretty crazy stories.
Really awesome, man. Like, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's just being at the right place at the right time, kind of a thing. That's just, yeah. I mean, to this day, I will consider it to be, I don't know if it's real or not. I mean, it looks real as hell, and it's got all the characteristics of it, of being real, but I don't see why it will be a fake.
Master Angler asked, how did you come across a lot of this stuff? Do you go to auctions, antique stores? What's the deal?
Yeah, definitely. I cruise a lot of antique stores for one. I have like my favorite antique stores here in the area, in like a 150-mile radius, really, and that I'll periodically check on and check the inventory. But I also go to like garage sales just randomly, and just I run into some people that are into this stuff, and sometimes they have they want to trade something or sell something, and I'll be quick to jump on that opportunity. Yeah, I just keep my ear to the ground, and when I hear of kind of like the possibility of running into something cool, I'll definitely act on it. It's just something I do. Plus, both my wife and I, we cruise the hell out of eBay all the time, and sometimes that's how I get it as well.
That makes sense.
It's good. It's a group. It's just another hobby.
Okay, any other questions? You've got us for like 6 minutes, and then I've got videos to edit. And it's like what? It's almost 1 where you're at, right?
No. It's
11?
10.
10. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, we're good to go for another hour if you want.
Well.
Oh yeah, there's the commie hat. Somebody made a comment out of. That's from the communist Russia. I wish I could say something cool like my grandpa put a bullet in this guy's head and kept the hat, but that's not the case. But nevertheless, it's a, you know, a parade hat from the communist Russia.
So somebody asked if I discussed elk camp. No, not really. Elk camp 2017 was a lot of fun. The big takeaway for me, and this is a little bit not hunting related, but was that you know, every minute that I get with my dad is a minute well invested. And I don't live close to my dad. My dad is my best friend. So we got to spend a lot of time together, and that was the big takeaway for me. You know, we did a lot of walking in the woods together, a lot of chatting, driving around, you know, that type of thing. So it was a well invested time. We didn't come home with any meat, so I guess I'll spoil the meat. But it was an interesting trip. It's going to be something we talk about for a long time. And personally, for me, I'm just excited to, you know, for when my son's at the age that he gets to go. We have an age for our camp of 12 years old. That's when we feel that, you know, the young boys are ready to walk 10 miles a day and carry a pack and help pack out animals and be quiet and observant and that type of thing. So other than that, I'm not going to talk too much about it. I've been working on the video for it, but I've been having issues with my computer. I think I got it solved. Every time I tried to open my video editing software, it would crash like 2 minutes into editing. And I went back and forth with that for like 2 days. And finally, I think I found a resolution. So hoping by the end of this week, I can have a video for that.
Yeah, I always look forward to your videos, man, especially the Delta fishing ones. They seem to kind of have an effect on, like a relaxing effect on me, to be honest with you. It feels like I'm almost out there fishing myself, and I always look forward to that. Very jealous, actually, in a way that you get to do that, and it's so close to you. So, and I definitely don't have the equipment for it either. So fishing, like
it's an open invitation, dude. Whenever you want to come out here, I got a couch you can couch surf on, and I got an extra kayak. So we'll just make it happen. So all you got to do is get here, and you know, I've got enough extra rods and reels, if you can't tell behind me, to have you all set up. So whenever you're ready.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's I think I'm officially adding that item to my bucket list. Fishing with Atlas with Chris. Can you imagine that freaking video? I wonder if we would do more fishing or drinking.
I don't know. Oh, dude, I've got some vodka I want to send you.
Really?
It's a local vodka made from, it's a corn vodka, so it's not a potato vodka. Or wheat. Is there wheat vodka?
Yeah, there is. Actually,
it's a sweet corn.
Actually, that's what I was doing that live broadcast where my wife showed up.
Yeah, that's right. So it's this local distillery, and I guess their claim to fame is, you know, this amazing sweet corn that they grow here where I live. And they have just this really pure vodka. Or vodka, is that what you would call it in Poland?
Vodka.
Okay. So I think I need to just send it to you, because personally I'm not a vodka guy. This guy gave this bottle to me, So maybe one of these days I can send it to you, and we can do a live stream, and you could drink it and tell me what you think about it.
Oh, dude, I will totally review the shit out of that thing, dude.
Okay, cool.
As a matter of fact, I can do a live broadcast on Instagram while I'm drinking it. Actually, I had a friend of mine from Idaho that sent me a bottle of potato vodka, and it was called the Grand Teton, which was named after the mountain called Three Tits, a mountain in Idaho called Three Tits. Yeah. So right off the bat, he had me at 3 tits, not just two, because apparently those mountains look like 3 titties, just out in the open. So they named the vodka after it, and he sent me that, and I did a live stream of that. So I would love to do the same for your vodka, man. I'm a vodka connoisseur. I consider myself to be a bit of a snob. I think it'll work out great. Maybe I can send you some bourbon instead.
All right, we can do a little exchange. I like it. All right. Or if you make your way out this way, we could just do it live,
Oh, absolutely, man. That'll be even better. Yeah, I mean, I would love to, man. I would love to go fishing with you and drink. Yeah, how cool would it be to do this in person? And I could actually learn something from you in a matter of fishing that could possibly kind of accelerate my and expedite me getting some decent equipment out here for myself. So I'm definitely up for that.
Dude, if you want to learn how to fish, I got a buddy out there who goes out into the marshes, the saltwater marshes.
Yeah.
Catches redfish all the time, and he's a good bass fisherman too. I could try to get you set up with him. You know what I mean? He lives there in Houston, so.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, I mean, like actually, my neighbor, he does a lot of that saltwater fishing. He's shallow water, and yeah, we call him Captain Poppincourt because every time he casts a damn rod, he pops up something in a few minutes. Of course, he's been doing that for most of his life, and he knows that spot better than any. It's where he was raised. So, but yeah, he's a busy guy. I don't really get to go fishing with him.
Somebody was asking, are you planning on going to anything like PrepperCon, Shot, Blade, any of the shows in 2018?
Well, actually, I was considering going to SHOT Show. I've had a couple of opportunities and questions about that already.
Is it your buddy that owns Black Label Armament?
No, sir. No.
Okay, that's Lucas, I think. Somebody, yeah, that's Oklahoma City. So that's Lucas, I think.
Maybe. Definitely, it's not me. Now I've got. I'm friends with 357 Arms, which is a outfit here in Katy. That's
who it is. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, and there's also HDX Tactical, which is a store that's in Houston, and I'm really good friends with those guys as well. I don't know if there's like a way for us to get like a journalist pass to get into SHOT Show, but if anything, I know I can hook in with them and make it.
I was looking into it, and it's not easy to get that pass, the media pass.
Right.
I'm gonna just fucking sneak a GoPro in and try to record. So I don't have a media pass. I have a pass through Go Prepared Survival. And I'm just gonna, like I said, sneak a GoPro in and do some camera recording and photos, and
I just really want to go and meet a bunch of different people and look at what's coming out, up in the air. I mean, what better place to get some, heads up and notes about what's happening in this industry.
Right.
And guns, as you imagine, are very, very relevant to me, more so than anything else in the survival aspect. So, it's my thing, definitely, and I would love to experience it. So, Oh man, looks like the chat is going on.
The chat is going on.
Yeah.
These guys are freaking awesome, man. Like, there's not a ton of people, viewing right now, but the folks that tune in to the live streams, you guys are fucking awesome. So, thank you guys for tuning in. Yeah, you guys make this fun for me. I wish I could like watch back the whole chat.
Yeah, that would be gold. They don't allow that, do
Scott
they?
asked, how do you do the donation thing? I don't know. Like, I have no clue. I just clicked a button. So I've never done it before. This is the first one where it's been an option. So yeah, I don't know.
Huh. Oh, there you go. John's got it. Yeah, I wonder how that works.
I don't know. Oh man. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sitting here like reading the chat and catching up with everybody. It is some good old-fashioned fun.
Hey, I have a question for Kaylin. Did you get your box, the Hunter's Hall box that was supposed to get sent to you? I'm just curious.
I also have I think Kaylin was the girl that was saying something about Polish lineage. I don't know if I saw that right or not, but huh. Or was I just
John is like the best moderator you could ask for because he's really aggressive.
I'm gonna have to borrow John if I ever do these things, man.
Okay, so I will follow up with Brandon, the owner of the Hunter's Hall company, Kaylin, and I'll see if they've sent it out yet.
Oh, I was right. She is.
Oh, Steven's watching. Okay, so Steven, you were the advanced winner, I believe. Okay. Okay, let me know, you guys, if you didn't get it, let me know. And I've been kind of slow getting stuff out, like sweatshirts and stuff like that. So I'm sorry to any of the winners that are watching right now. It's been kind of hectic getting back from my hunting trip. So no excuse, but an excuse, right?
Oh, absolutely. You gotta have one.
Scothio, I got two parts to that Hunter's Hall to the phone scope. I got a phone case, and I think they may have sent an email out to all of their subscribers asking what kind of phone they had. And so there was a phone case that was specific to your phone, or you got a universal mount, and then also an adapter. And I think total, the two of them were $90 value. I'm really stoked to try out the phone scope and just kind of see what the deal is with that and test it out. Series strips are available on the GoPrepareSurvival.com website. I think they sold out on Amazon. We're sending Amazon more sear strips. So They are available if you want to get them through Amazon for Prime or whatever reason. You'll have to wait a little bit. But there's a pretty good deal going on. I can't remember what it was. It was buy a 3-pack and get, I think it was $5 off or something at gopreparedsurvival.com. So check that out, Master Angler.
I had to go and refill, man.
I don't blame you. I'm on number 3 and I'm empty. Steer strip. Scoff you.
I'm gonna use this bad boy from Bastion.
What kind of editor do I use for, or what kind of computer do I use for editing? I have an iMac, and I'm not a Mac snob. Trust me.
I am.
You are?
Yeah, I love Mac.
You're a snob?
Well, you know, snob in a way that if it comes to editing, writing music, or editing videos, yeah, I'm only gonna use a Mac.
You totally are a snob.
Whatever.
I used the PC for the longest time. Like the first 2 years of my channel, I used a PC. And then I ran out of memory. I had memory space issues.
Go figure.
I know, go figure. So I switched over to a Mac. But since that, like just yesterday, I'm on Amazon looking at 10 terabyte fucking external hard drives, dude. Like,
damn.
Yeah, like I have so much raw footage that I mean, I have like 6 terabytes of external storage hooked into my computer right now, and I've only got 5 gigs left, and I'm like, oh gosh, I have to upgrade.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with writing videos or with editing videos, is you're always left with so much refuse. You know, it really takes a huge damper. I mean, now the computer I'm working with only has half a freaking terabyte. No, I'm sorry, it has a 1 terabyte memory.
Right. Even photos are tough because, you know, if you start messing with really high graphic volume photos and editing them,
right.
like something out of a DSLR or something like that, or even camera phones nowadays. I mean, they're really, you know, high megapixel. So if you edit a lot of photos, that can just garble up a ton of space. But video is psychotic. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, music is no different. I mean, well, it is a little bit better than video as far as like space. But yeah.
Kaylin, I don't know if you were supposed to get an email. I'm not sure. I will follow up with Brandon though, and Hunter's Hall, and just double check. They have all of your information. I emailed it to them before I left, but I don't know if you were supposed to get an email or not. Master Angler asks, what's the camera on my kayak? Primarily nowadays, I'm using a GoPro Hero 5 Black. I had been using a GoPro Hero 3 Silver Plus or something like that as my primary camera, but it got a chip on the lens. And if you look closely in some of my older videos, you'll be able to see a little distortion in the picture. That's where the chip was. So I've transitioned primarily to the Hero 5 Black as my main camera. I use the other camera as a backup. I'm looking to add, and this is all, you know, the expensive hobby thing, I'm looking to add another Hero 5 as another camera. So
you know, they got 6 coming out now, right? You know, they have 6 coming out right now.
Yeah, and I'm not seeing a discernible difference in quality of picture or video capture. I see a couple perks in it, but nothing really extremely, you know, anything that's really going to make me say, I got to have that camera. What I'm seeing happen, and what I'm hoping will continue to happen, is the new camera come out and the price of the Hero 5 Black go down so that they're more affordable. You know what I mean? So what I want is, right now I have 2 different cameras. I have 2 different batteries that need to be charged, you know, all that stuff. And I want to just get 2 of the same type so that I don't have to worry about charging those cameras, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Consistency is basically what I'm looking for. So,
yeah, I looked at the specs, and really the only difference was like some convenience things.
I think there was a little bit of a bump in some of your frame rate stuff. So if you wanted to do slow motion video,
yeah, which I don't. Well,
I do a little bit, but not enough to really be concerned about it. John Z said, if I'm using a Mac and having issues, what issues are you having? Right now, I'm editing with iMovie, so just stock software. I should be editing with Final Cut Pro, but that costs money. And again, we go to expensive hobby discussion. How much money do I really want to put into all of this, right? I want my stuff to look good, but at the same time, I feel like I can put out a pretty dang good looking video with what I have using iMovie. And the issue I was having was, I think, related to the code that iMovie was reading from a certain camera, because it was only when I was editing video from that particular camera that it was crashing. And that was the main camera that I was using for my elk camp. So my favorite bottle opener is a fucking Bic lighter, dude. Bam. Lower number. Bam.
Can't go wrong with the Bic lighter, though. You really can't.
No, I mean, you should have a lighter on you, in my opinion, as your EDC. Because if you don't, you know, I mean, unless you're like living at 8,000 feet elevation where lighters can, you know, be a little bit unreliable. I mean, why wouldn't you carry a lighter with you? Even if you're not a smoker. I mean, why wouldn't you carry a lighter with you?
Speaking of which, I'm crossing the boundary of, you know.
Uh-oh, you're smoking in the house. You're going to get killed.
It'll be worth it. It's a
I'm
special.
Your wife right now.
Maybe, all right.
Your wife, I don't have her number.
Go ahead. Maybe the cigar from previous is gonna kill this out. I don't know. I think I can handle one. But yeah, I like to use my Bic lighter as a bottle opener because I can make that bottle pop really loud and make the cap fly really high. And it's just a party trick, and it's neat.
Do you know those drinks? They're like a Mexican drink. They're called jarritos. You know those?
Oh, sí, señor.
Well, my son picked one of those out at a store the other day as the drink he wanted, and he's trying to open it, right? He's like trying to open it. We're driving down the road, and I'm like, dude, you can't open it. You know, you need to pop the top on it. And he goes, well, how am I going to drink it? And I'm like, give me that, you know? So as I'm driving down the road, I grab a Bic lighter, and I'm like, pop! Hand it to him. He looks at me like I'm just like some sort of like superhero. It was fucking awesome.
Now I'm telling you. That's why I think that's why I always welcome the addition of more bottle openers. You know, I think that was the hidden mission, whatchamacallit, sit rep for that EDC 2.0. I think that was just bottle opener 2.0.
Yeah, totally.
Because even the fucking axe has a goddamn bottle opener on it. It's like,
right?
Thoughtful. Even the little spade we got, you know, that was great. At least like 5 items had it. But yeah, man, I love it.
It's like the new glass breaker. You know what I mean? Fucking bottle openers on everything. You know, if it has like one edge that you can turn into a Phillips screwdriver and another edge that you can use as a pry bar, all it needs is a fucking bottle opener and it's a multi-tool. You know what
Absolutely.
Okay.
Looks like somebody in a cigar over there.
Oh, Grey Ghost. Hey, what's up, buddy?
Oh, we definitely have. I know. I have a dog. This is a question from Ruthless Redneck, right? Yeah. I have a dog, man. It's a tactical Chihuahua, and it's a bad motherfucker. It's the best alarm you can ever imagine. Ton of bark, not a lot of bite, but she means well. But this is the funny thing, like for a Chihuahua, she's not a very yappy dog. Like when my friends come over or somebody new comes over, if she sees I'm cool with the people at the door, she'll like run up to them and you know she's gonna want to get pet by them and she doesn't bark at them. But like if someone knocks on the door, like the first thing she does is like bolts and all her Chihuahua might just goes for the door, and it's awesome. And that's all I need from a dog. I'll take care of the rest. But yeah, she is definitely a tactically aware Chihuahua.
That's awesome.
A rescue dog at that. I would never freaking own a Chihuahua, guys. I thought the Chihuahua was going to be the last dog breed that I'm going to own. But she just kind of found her way to my doorstep and wouldn't leave. So we just adopted her, and yeah, that's all she wrote, man. Now she's our dog. Yeah, Chihuahua. Who would have thought?
Well, I didn't picture you as a Chihuahua guy, but
I got Chihuahua guy. I'm actually I'm more of a cat person, to be honest, rather than a dog.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yes, man. I love fucking cats because they mind their own fucking business, like half the motherfuckers I know should.
That's awesome.
They just know how to mind their own business. I appreciate that about a pet. Like, I don't want to pet you freaking all day, you know. I don't want your mouth at me and licking me and shit. like my Chihuahua, like you pet her once and she starts licking your knuckles and shit. Like, come on. I saw what you just did 5 seconds ago around with your private parts. Don't lick me now.
That's true about cats, dude. They fucking have an attitude of their own, you know what I mean? And half the time they're like, don't even fucking look at me, you know what I mean? And
yeah,
half the time they're like rubbing their back right under the backside of your leg, you know? My ex had a cat when we first got together, and that cat and I had this like weird love-hate relationship, you know what I mean? Like, fucking couldn't stand that cat. But then when it came time to put that cat down and it was my fucking job to take it to the vet, you know, to do that, it was like, oh shit, this fucking sucks, you know?
Yeah. No, the cats, you know, they're cool. I love cats. I love dogs too, but like I said, I'm more of a cat person. I can dish out affection at intervals, not like the entire day. You know, and you know, they got their own lives. They'll go outside and, you know, hump other cats and, you know, chase rabbits and birds and whatever. And they come back and like, hey, feed me. Yeah, here's your 5 seconds of petting me, and now get the fuck out of my way. I love that. I love that about a pet. This Chihuahua, it like fucking won't leave me alone, man. I sit down to, you know, on the couch, she's right there, and I mean, you know how it is. I mean, you love the damn thing, you know, you're gonna give it affection, but like, come on, man.
Right. I grew up on a farm, and we had this farm cat, and the cats on the farm, I mean, they never come in the fucking house, right? You know, never, like fucking never come in the house. But they're great at like killing mice and controlling rodent populations and shit like that. Well, we had this one, and we would let it come in the garage. And this thing was fucking freaky because it had like 6 claws on one of its feet. It had 4 on another, and then 2 feet with 5. You know, it was just weird. Mutant cat. That thing was a fucking hunter, dude. Like, you know how cats leave you presents like on the doorstep? Like they'll catch a mouse and they'll leave it on your doorstep. This thing catch rattlesnakes, it catch fucking ducks, you know, it would like fucking random huge ass rat would be on your fucking doorstep, you know?
Dude, I get it, man. Like we live where, you know, just 5 years ago, this was nothing but rice lands. I shit you not. And so we have a huge rodent population. My neighbor has a cat, and it's kind of a stray, but it lives in his garage. And yeah, there's like baby rabbits on this freaking doorstep, front step, or snakes and birds and all kinds of crazy shit. I mean, that cat is a freaking hunter. And one time he came over and we were just chilling in my garage, and the cat came with him. And we're just sitting there drinking, and the cat's like disappears every 5 minutes and reappears, disappears and reappears. And then like he stops, he disappears and starts meowing. So we go over there and look. There's like 5 freaking baby rats, like newborns, maybe like a week old, and a mama rat. Just fucking sitting there behind like a speaker box that I have up there. Freaking crazy. I mean, how can you not like cats?
Yeah, there is that aspect to it. So rodent control. I mean, who can fucking beat them, right? It's like 8:30, 2.5 hours, dude, and time flies. We need to do this more often. If any of you all that are watching live think we need to do this more often, leave it in the comment section down below. Click that thumbs up button, share with your friends. You guys are awesome. Thank you for tuning in. We had a blast. It's time to say goodbye, though, I think.
Yeah.
What do you think, dude?
No, I think, you know, I think I didn't expect to be here for 2.5 hours, to be honest.
Okay. Are you going to be up for a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to throw this out there. We'll stop broadcasting, but if any of you want to just fucking hang out, we can do a little thing where if you email me outwestwithchris@gmail.com, we can send you an invite to our Google Hangout. We won't broadcast it. You'll need a webcam I think you might not even need a webcam, but if you just want to hang out and chat, you know, we'll do that until for the next half an hour. We'll click that stop broadcast button, but I need you to email me outwestwithchris@gmail.com with an email address, and we'll send you an invite to our little hangout right here, where we'll just hang out, shoot the shit, and if you want your face to be shown, you can, or you can just do audio hangout.
Straight up.
Sound good to you, dude?
No, I said I want to see the faces, straight up.
Oh, we got to see your faces. So if you're gonna puss out and try to hide, I guess you can't do that per sudden. So we're gonna sign off now. Everybody, thank you again for watching. Thanks to everybody who clicked that little donate button. I really do appreciate it. You guys are awesome. If I missed anybody, I believe it was Ruthless Redneck a couple times and 206 Survival. So thank you guys. Really do appreciate it. We're going to sign off. So that's that. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for getting out west with Chris.
And 7 Gunner.
Yeah, buddy.